How you feeling with another big game on deck?
Good. Just try to approach every game the same way. Every game is the biggest game to that point of the season. So just trying to get better and prepare for that one.
Coach said he kind of told you, hey, it's not Paige versus Juju, it's UConn versus USC, which is probably like dream words for you as someone who is being told to be more selfish.
Yeah, that's how it's always been against these matchups. Obviously, the media does their job and has the graphics, has the names, makes it easy to promote in that way. But two teams against each other trying to win the basketball game, so that's how it always is.
He added that it's a good thing that it's not you versus her because she kicked your butt.
Yeah, that's what he said at practice too.
Can you talk about the bond with you and Sarah? It just seems to keep grow and grow. Like she knows, it's almost like you know what you're thinking. It's like now she knows what you're thinking, where to be, where you're going to pass the ball. Can you just talk about how that's grown?
Yes, it's just come with a lot of reps and a lot of times in practice where we've been playing with each other, reading the defense, reading each other, what we like to do, our tendencies and things like that, and talking, asking questions, getting to know each other. But it's two people that I feel like really love the game, have a good feel for the game, and so it's easy to play off each other.
What sticks out about USC and just how they're a little bit different of a team than when you guys saw them in the Elite Eight?
I think obviously they have some of the same pieces, but I think they play an entirely different game. They have more of an inside presence, I would say, this year. Obviously, with Kiki transferring in, so she's a new presence we have to focus on. But again, the same in where we're preparing as a team to guard the entire five-man unit that's on the floor. Obviously, Juju is a tough matchup for any individual, so guarding as a team, talking as a team, helping each other talk, communicate where to be on defensive rotations. So, yeah.
You guys are also pretty different since you played them. How are you going to be able to operate differently in this game compared to the team you had last year?
I don't know. I think we play the same, just different pieces on the floor than we did last year. Continue to be aggressive, look for my shot, look for others, continue to move off the ball. When I have the ball, be aggressive. Yeah.
Coach said after the Notre Dame game that you played a little bit too hard, that you put yourself in difficult situations to try to score just because you're trying to do too much. And then against Georgetown, he complimented you because you settled in with the short-range jumpers and stuff. Do you continue to evolve and learn about, how you have to play when somebody's playing you really hard?
I think he more just wants me to take mid-range jump shots instead of over-penetrating. Puts less strain on my body, less strain, less physicality that I have to face. And I love mid-range jump shots, so just it's not settling when I take them. It's me being confident in taking them. And when I do have an open lane to the basket, obviously take those as well. But reading what the defense gives me and continue to do that.
How do you see this as an opportunity, right? We come in, we talk Paige Juju, but as an opportunity for you to continue to push that message of elevating your teammates?
Yeah, I've always said it, in a lot of the individual matchups, people come and tune in maybe for that particular player, but they leave watching our team, falling in love with our team and the way that we play and how nobody's an individual on our team. Everybody, all egos aside, we just play team basketball. And there's a lot of players that you can fall in love with on our team. And on any given night, anybody could have 20 and it could be their night, as is shown this season. So that's definitely the message that I've always tried to voice, and we've always tried to voice as a team, that we're a team and no individual can win or lose a basketball game.
Kind of random, but what do you like most about playing against male practice players?
That you can talk trash and they don't take it personal. Like, you can talk trash, go back and forth with them, and at the end of the day, it's all love. So.
When was your first time practicing against a male practice player?
In high school, barely. Like, when we reached the state tournament, there was actually a couple times where they brought in male practice players, but definitely getting used to that physicality and that type of competition here in college.
Nico is such a defensive presence anchor for you guys. So with her gone, how do you feel like you guys have kind of evolved your defense, or what do you have to do, even just as a leader of this team, to make sure the team comes out with that energy and that intensity on that side of the floor?
Yeah, I think it's different this year because we don't have, obviously when there was a a good guard on the other team offensively. We just put Nika on her. And this year, I think it varies dependent on the matchup and the size and the quickness of the guard. So it's not one particular person's job as it was last year. And so we rely more on our team and how we're going to scheme and how we're going to help each other out, and we can switch, and everybody can guard that one particular player that we're trying to shut down. So I would say it's more of a team scheme. Obviously, we still bought in and played as a team defensively last year, but we relied on Nika a lot, and she did a great job with that. So I would say more versatility in who's going to be guarding that player certainly this year.
Hey, games that are so big and do draw so much attention, whether it's team, nationally ranked, national TV, player versus player. This is one which you dreamed of as a kid. Do you still get the nervous energy for games like this before, and do you get butterflies at all getting out there?
Yeah, good nerves, just excitement, anxiousness for it to get going and for it to start and for the ball to tip off. But it's more just, like you said, you've been waiting for these moments your entire life, so just anticipating that and just being so excited to play.
Once it goes up, gone?
Yeah, for the most part, you kind of just forget about anything that you're thinking about and just playing.
Paige, as a veteran, how does it feel to be leading your team into battle? Obviously, the younger players are looking to you for leadership. Do you feel that going into a game like this?
Yeah, definitely. For me, it's like being composed and being unaffected by anything that goes on in the game. Like, that's a great team that we're playing. They have great players. They're going to make great plays. They might go on runs, but just weathering the storm and staying together as a team and not letting anything they do dictate what we're going to do. Staying true to our game plan and yeah, but definitely feel like we need to lead in that way.
You've played in a lot of these games. Do they get easier to prepare for you and mentally, physically?
No, I think you just get more experience in preparing for them. Obviously, it's a tough matchup, tough team that we're playing. So not necessarily it gets easier. You just kind of know what to expect more and use that experience.
Do you think this is a game that a lot of people could fall in love with Sarah that hadn't seen her before?
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't watched us before and haven't already fallen in love, this would be a great opportunity to do so, yeah.
Does
Paige, how
coming
much
off of a game like you guys had at Iowa State help mentally coming into a bigger game like USC, or is it something you kind of have to temper after that high?
It's definitely good for the confidence, for everybody to shoot that well. I mean, it can't be bad for us to shoot that well and continue to move forward with that, but also in how the second quarter we weren't making as many shots and how we needed to come together more and rely on our defense to anchor our offense. So we learned a lot through that game, not just about making shots, but two, like that win, what was it, last week, can't help us win this game. So just continue to get better, continue to improve, but obviously build on what we did last game.
Paige, with everything that's come at you since you got here, I know you came here and just wanted to hoop and all the things, the outside noise and whatnot. Where does Coach's voice resonate with you, like with life? Do you go for him for a lot of advice? Where is he on the, mom, dad, coach meter? You know what I mean, as far as voices that can get through to you to help you out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of hard-headed, so I don't listen to a lot of people. But he's definitely a voice that I look to for guidance and for advice. And he was one of the main people who told me, like, it's okay to reach out and need help. It's okay to not be okay, and to get help. And it's not necessarily a weakness. It's really a strength to ask for help with the pressures, whatever you're going on, like whatever's going on in life, whether you're struggling or doing great or anything like that. So he's dealt with pressures and tough times through his life, and he's had the experience and the wisdom for me to go to his office and just talk about it and how he's dealt with it and how he's coped with good and bad. So definitely a voice that I look to for that.
Does he take advice too from you once in a while or no?
No, he don't take no advice.
Sue and Maya could go in, are eligible for the Hall of Fame this year. Can you just talk about the legacy of this program and the pride you take, how much players like that led you here?
Yeah, it's everything you dreamed of to follow in their footsteps. They obviously paved the way along with so many others, but Sue especially, I've gotten to build a great relationship with her on and off the floor, just learning from her what she does in her business life, what she does as a person, and what she did on the court. Just learning from her, chatting with her, just picking her brain, trying to learn more. And Maya was huge for me growing up in Minneapolis, by Minneapolis, watching the Minnesota Lynx and their dynasty. She was everything I wanted to be as a player. So for them to just continue to pave the way and have, when I was little, I aspired to be in their shoes, and I wouldn't have dreamt big if I didn't have people to follow like that. So it's just amazing to see their impact, and every single day we wear a jersey here, we wear it with pride because of what the people before us have done.